Hello everyone, my name is Fred Williams, and I'll be doing a presentation today on the MetaSploit framework as part of the Advanced Network Security class at East Carolina University. So let's get started. What is the MetaSploit framework? The MetaSploit framework is an open source penetration testing utility that users can take advantage of to perform penetration tests or do system compromises. Version 3.2 was officially released in March 2009, and 3.2 contains updated code that targets the Mac platform. According to Macworld, MetaSploit hadn't had the updated tools ported to the Mac platform prior to version 3.2, so the exploits did not work as well towards Mac than it did towards Windows or Linux. One of the tools ported to the Mac for 3.2 is MetaSploit, which is defined as a programmatic interface for a complete command shell environment. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. One of the nice things about exploitation frameworks today like MetaSploit is the separation of the exploit from the payload. Now MetaSploit contains over 300 different vulnerabilities for the Windows, Linux, and Mac platforms. The old-fashioned attacks bundled the exploit and the payload together. For example, you may have a buffer overflow attack against a vulnerable FTP server, which will give the attack command line access, or another attack may exploit a database vulnerability that allows the attacker to insert a user into the database. So today's frameworks have an arsenal of different attacks and different payloads, and each offering different effects, so that developers can add new attacks for new flaws but don't have to reinvent the payload wheel. Some examples of MetaSploit exploits in the wild recently. The Configure worm used MetaSploit modules to spread itself. It attacked the MS08067 vulnerability that is used to detect Windows version information, service pack information, and language information on the target OS. Several other examples of MetaSploit in the wild is the VNC remote control payload. This payload, which can be run against vulnerable Windows machines, inserts the remote GUI control tool VNC inside the attacked machine. The attacker can then remotely control the GUI across the network and do whatever he'd like. MetaSploit is even more interesting, and this is one of the ones that was ported to the Mac in version 3.2. Now, MetaSploit is a complete command shell environment which gets injected into the target machine, and attackers like this kind of attack and payload for three reasons. First, it's stealthy. Second, the MetaSploit lets an attacker stay entirely in memory if they'd like. So instead of scrolling stuff on the hard drive, they can just run entirely in memory, making the tool much more subtle. Third, some systems today are configured to hide their command shell or give it very limited capabilities. By injecting a complete command shell environment into a vulnerable process, the attacker will have all the most useful commands available, regardless of how the target's machine is configured. Now let's talk a little bit about how to successfully use MetaSploit to launch an attack. We'll launch the MetaSploit framework GUI. Once you download and install the GUI, you can launch it. So once you get the GUI, you will see a list of about 300 different exploits in the exploit window, broken down by system types like Linux, Windows, and Solaris. Since I'll be launching an attack against a Windows machine, I'll select the Windows component in the tree view, and once I do that, I'll see a further broken out list by the exploits against the different components of Windows, like Internet Information Server, POP3, HTTP, and games, which is pretty interesting. So I guess this Windows machine had vulnerabilities in some of the games installed on the machine. So I'll select IIS, the IIS buffer overflow attack in ntdll.dll module in the Internet Information Server. This exploit works on the Windows 2000 users by exploiting the search webdav method. So I'll go ahead and select this exploit, and in the next window, MetaSploit asks me for a target. The only option I get here is brute force, so I'll go ahead and select that and click next. On the next page, I'll select the payload, and that's defined as the exploit I want to deliver if I get successfully into the hacked machine. Some frameworks also refer to this as the shellcode or the opcode. For the buffer overflow exploit that I'm using for my test example, I will inject this code into the overflowed buffer memory. Next, I'll come to the screen of options that I set for this exploit. The rhost option will be the IP address of the system we want to compromise, and you can further configure the target port, but in this case we'll just use the default port 80. Now I'm ready to execute the exploit. So I'll execute the exploit, and it could take some time since we're using the brute force method. But if everything goes right, you will soon have a remote connection to the target machine, and once you get that, you can pretty much do whatever you'd like. So that's an example of how to use MetaSploit to launch an attack. So what have we learned here? We need to patch and update regularly. I know sometimes it's annoying. A lot of users disable Windows updates because it is annoying, but they want us to install those patches for a reason, and it's best for our company and our home users that we install and update a patch regularly. And we also want to educate system administrators as well as users about the urgent need to update quickly and effectively. And finally, incorporate exploit frameworks like Metasploit into your own testing so we can see what the attackers see. It would be better for us if we launched Metasploit to exploit and find vulnerabilities into our own system without waiting for the attackers to do it. So thank you very much.